We'll move on to the 2000s, and now I think is where we're getting into two of the best decades of horror that we've seen. We'll start with the 2000s. Seth, my highest rated horror film of the 2000s is Shaun of the Dead.
Big up, same with me. Yeah, love it.
Is that considered a horror on Letterboxd?
Yeah, it's horror comedy, isn't it?
Well, I don't have it rated on here then, I guess.
It's a horror comedy.
The other day. All right, I go put it in.
A recent watch of mine that you told me to watch, Let the Right One In, Seth. That's in my top 3 of the decade. I think it's fucking fantastic.
What did you give that? 4.5. Yes,
give it a 4.5. And then Saw, obviously kicking off torture porn. And then even, I know Blair Witch came out in the 90s, but that kind of sparked this massive boon of found footage in the 2000s. We had Wreck, Cloverfield. What other found footage films from the 2000s?
Bro, I'm just looking at this list. There's so many great 2000s ones.
There's a ton, yeah. You even have Martyrs, which is just one of the most disturbing films I've ever seen. I just
never watched it again.
Never watched that movie again. And Pulse, Kiyoshi Kurosawa's follow-up to Cure. What else? What am I missing? Cam, what from the 2000s have you watched? I love that you laugh every time.
Well, because when you get into my because it's Saw at a 4 out of 5. And then after that, it's peaks at a 3 out of 5 of the 6 I've seen. You know, Constantine, Blade 2, Blade 3, and then the 2 Alien versus Predators those are the 6 I've seen.
Okay.
And Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem are a 1 and a 1.5 star, respectively. Blade 3 is a half star. Just ass movies. So when you said like we're getting into the best horrors, I'm like, oh, I just haven't seen them then.
That's because you got to watch more. I also didn't mention.
No, that being said, I just said, actually, I don't have Shaun of the Dead rated apparently, but I just watched that. Probably 2 months ago when I guys texted you. 91. Luckily, I didn't have it on my spreadsheet either. Luckily, I texted you all what I had it because I wasn't gonna go back and rewatch it. I watched it 2 months ago. So
well, congratulations to everyone listening to this episode. You had a live Cam Walsh 27 rating.
Yeah.
Other 2000s films that I think we need to mention: Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, I don't have.
I don't rate that as highly as some other found footage films like Cloverfield and Wreck. But that movie swept the nation. It kind of took over. It's what everyone was talking about for like 2 weeks straight. Yo, did you watch Paranormal Activity? And when that movie came out, I was like 12, so I obviously had not seen Paranormal Activity. The Mist is another one I recently watched, and then Saw 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I don't know how many are in the 2000s, but torture porn kind of started to boom because of Saw in the 2000s. Am I missing anything?
I've
Seth?
got a few more, I think. One, I think 2 films that you're missing: The Zombie Trend, 28 Days Later.
Yes.
Great film. And also, in my opinion, one of the better horror comedies, Zombieland 1. I think Zombieland's great.
Really good movie.
Is that a horror comedy?
It's down as one.
Yeah,
it's got to be considered a horror.
I don't have that rated either. I don't think.
Interesting.
Good movie.
I never considered that a horror.
But it's the same Shaun of the Dead, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I guess.
Bon Joon-ho's The Host.
Fantastic movie.
The Descent. The Orphanage, which I don't know if you've seen, George, but if you haven't, definitely watch it. Lake Mungo, Shutter, the Thai film, The Mist, I believe said, and my highest rated one, well, after Shaun of the Dead, is The Others, obviously. There's loads. There's so many you can go over. Thirst, have you seen that? Seen Thirst?
Thirst, no.
It's a South Korean one. It's Park Chan-wook. It's the same guy who did Old Boy. Yeah. And then also, do you know what? Not a bad film, kind of. Sweeney Todd, if we're considering that horror.
That is a horror. That is a good shout. Yeah. I'll also shout out 2, maybe not great movies, but movies I could find enjoyment out of. Jennifer's Body.
Yes.
And Van Helsing.
Oh, I haven't seen that in so long.
I haven't seen both of those in so long, but there's like Jennifer's Body has like a cult following.
It does.
Like
that's probably the Megan Fox effect.
Are people horny for it?
It's not even
no,
it's
not even that. Yeah, like one of our favorite TikTok creators just posted a video the other day calling it one of the most underrated movies of all time.
All right. Anyways,
I want to add a 2000 shout. I mentioned it earlier. The Final Destination series kicked off, and one thing I want to mention is I would argue has anyone, so who here's seen Final Destination movies? Only Cam?
Wait, I've seen the first two.
Okay, you've seen the second one? You haven't seen them? Damn. Well, I think a lot of people listening to this will agree that Final Destination 2, I think, is one of the most impactful and memorable scenes ever, because anytime you're driving on a highway behind a truck that has like anything is carrying on the back, anyone who's seen Final Destination will always remember that movie. Like, no matter what, anytime you're driving behind a truck, you'll always remember that movie.
That should
I quite liked the second one.
Not to spoil the descent, but that was like the first scene of the descent where something just shoots through a truck and shoots through someone's windshield and just rips his face off. Yeah, which is just a absurd fear.
Yeah. I quite like Final Destination. I got a 3 out of 5. I remember enjoying that film.
No, yeah. So that whole series, the first one came out in the year 2000. Just basically each movie is just 10 to 15 deaths of just weird happenstances, like they're lifting weights and something falls and then the weight falls off the safety and it crushes someone's head, like all just like bizarrely funny. But I do want to say, just like anyone who's seen this knows, Final Destination 2, that scene with the truck, anytime you're fucking on the highway and you're behind a truck that has like a lot of shit on the semi bed that looks a little sketchy, you're immediately thinking Final Destination 2 and you're immediately like, I'm passing this fucking shit right now. I'm not taking any chances.
Is there, and I know there's a bunch of movies, so if you don't remember, that's cool. But is there a Final Destination scene where like someone's getting acupuncture and falls? Because I vaguely remember seeing a TikTok, one of those TikTok that Cam hates, where it's like this guy goes to an acupuncture to blah blah blah, and it like ends up being like he dies or something because he falls.
I wouldn't doubt it, but I know there's a tanning bed where something falls on top of the tanning bed and then it basically just like roasts them alive. So there's a lot of stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be an acupuncture version.
Yeah.
George, sorry, one more I want to put in that I know you'll like. That you haven't seen it. Eden Lake.
Never seen Eden Lake.
So it's a very British like horror thriller, and it's one of those that keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it's just incredibly suspenseful. Jack O'Connell is one of the main guys.
Okay.
We like Jack O'Connell.
Yeah, we do.
And it's very disturbing, very suspenseful, and it's about 85 minutes long or something. It's definitely one that people, if you like shit that's going to make you feel anxious, paranoid.
Which I do.
Yeah, exactly. Uncomfortable. And it just has these disturbing scenes. You will like it. I'm surprised you haven't watched it. It's your sort of film.
I got today and tomorrow to catch up on more horror before spooky season ends. So
watch it. It's good.
I got to figure it out. All right, let's move on to the 2010s, which is what I consider to be the best decade for horror. I think it's the best decade for film in general, but that's a conversation for another time.
70s.
Stop it. Get Out, Hereditary, Annihilation, The Lighthouse, Black Swan, It Follows, Ready or Not. Man, I have I have 4 horror films from the 2010s rated a 5-star. And then
I have 3.
And then I have another 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 rated at 4.5 out of 5 stars.
19?
Yeah.
Really? I have 4.
That's a lot.
A lot of 4s, though. I have a lot of 4s. Like a lot of 4s.
My like we did our top 5, obviously. One of my number 5 on my list was Train to Busan, and it seemed that's one of the few I have it at a 5 out of 5. And I've
got a 4.5, so it's very.
It's great. George didn't mention it even. Like I think it's incredible.
I have it ranked number 7 of the decade.
Did you not cry? Did you not cry at that time?
Not like actually. God, I hate this because it makes me sound like I'm trying to be a hard ass. I didn't actually. Like I did not cry. Yeah. No,
another South Korean one. I Saw the Devil.
Yes, fantastic shout.
Crazy film.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Is it The Witch?
The Witch. Yeah, A24 obviously kind of boomed in the 2010s. You also had John Krasinski's A Quiet Place. Was A Quiet Place? Quiet Place 2 was right?
That was 2020. Was it A Quiet Place
2018?
Yeah.
No, 18.
Two. The second one.
Oh, the second one was 2020.
Yeah.
Or was it 2021? It was something like that. Yeah.
A Quiet Place 2, fun fact, not even a fact. It was the first horror. It was the first movie I saw in theaters when theaters started to reopen.
No, so yeah, I think it was 2021 because I think it was the first movie to get pushed back from COVID. I think that's what it was. It was supposed to be 2020, and it was the first movie to start that kind of we're going to push it back.
But
good.
I want to one that like Cam, you watched recently, you rated really low. Mother is down as a horror, and you get that 2.5.
Yeah.
George, have you seen that?
I have. I still can't believe Cam saw that.
You need to log it. That's your reminder. I give that a 4. I think Mother was good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't. I guess it wasn't for me. It was just. It had a lot of things, like a lot of themes in there. You know, obviously the religion theme, where I don't think it did a good. I hate when movies kind of piss off both sides. You know,
that's
like
Hacksaw Ridge for me. That's Hacksaw Ridge for me.
Really? No, that's like kind of another thing with like Blonde that came out this year. Like I think it did a shit job at like on the abortion side. Like I think it pissed off both sides.
Purple Heart's another one that pissed off, I feel like, both sides.
It's like it was making fun. And so it's like you got to pick one, all right? You can't piss everyone off because otherwise I think you just made a shit movie at that point. I don't know. Maybe I'm
all right, a couple more just 2010 shouts that I think deserve a mention. Ready or Not, 10 Cloverfield Lane, It Comes at Night, One Cut of the Dead. I don't know if you guys have seen that. And then
I need to watch that.
Yeah.
Did you say Hereditary?
Did I say? Yeah.
Okay. Did you say Midsommar?
Did you say Conjuring?
I did not say The Conjuring. I did not say Midsommar or Midsummer. Happy Death Day 1 and 2. I stand by that those are two very good horror comedies. I think they're. I know Seth does not think that of them.
No. I watched it. I didn't. This was years ago. I didn't concentrate. I said I'd give that another go.
Okay.
This is down as a horror.
Did you mention it?
I did mention it. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, The Devil's Candy.
Did you mention Black Swan? That's down as a horror.
Yeah. Black Swan is down. If it's down as a horror, it's in my top 5 of that decade.
If it's down as a horror, that's my top 2.
Yeah, it's at number 5. I got Black Swan at 5, The Lighthouse at 4, Annihilation, Hereditary, Get Out.
I've got I've got The Witch at 5, Lighthouse at 4, Hereditary.
Witch.
Yeah, I love The Witch.
That's a great movie.
Hereditary at 3, Black Swan at 2, Black Swan at 1, and Get Out at 2. That's mine. Do we all want to say our top 5s? May as well.
I don't
can't have a top 5.
I have a 29 rated in 2010s and 26 rated in the 2020s. But this like just so my top 2 are Train to Busan and Get Out because those are 5 out of 5s. But I'm gonna have to go to.
Have you seen the Lighthouse?
No. I told you I've seen parts of it.
Lighthouse is so good.
Have you not seen The Witch either, Cam?
No, fuck no.
Also so good.
That's not like
I know Midsummer would probably be around 3. I have that like a 92. Black Swan, I have like 86. Quiet Place, like 88, something like that. So this doesn't show me my ratings and it doesn't have them in order. So I don't know my top 5 specifically, but those would probably.
I think watch The Witch and The Lighthouse. They're just atmospheric. They're amazing, both of them.
I'll get to them. I know I'll get to them one day.
Well, let's keep this going and just wrap out the 2020s. Because again, like I said, 2022 has given us some great movies, some great horror movies, but 2020 and 21, let's not sleep on those years. Last Night in Soho, Malignant, A Quiet Place Part 2. I don't know if you guys saw The Innocents, but that was a really fucked up movie. And then even Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a shout. Fuck you. Thought it was a good movie.
Oscar winner.
Wait.
True. It won one of
the fucking zombie heist movie.
Yeah,
Oscar winner.
Is that the one with Batista in?
That's a good movie. It's a good movie. Eat it. I don't care. Whatever.
George, have you seen His House? I don't think you. I think you have.
I have seen it. I don't rate it as highly as you. I think I have it at 2.5 out of 5.
Really?
I thought it was a good movie and it built atmosphere pretty well. But I shit you not, I predicted that movie from the first.
But I think there's a lot of symbolism into that in terms of immigration, in terms of there's a lot to that film.
It was just such a predictable, like the second something happened, I was like, that's gonna happen.
I don't see that film as like a horror. I see it as like a social commentary.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah. And then one thing I want to mention, the Fear Street trilogy, which is kind of
I didn't even watch them.
It's just, I don't think any of them are particularly amazing. I just thought it was pretty cool that Netflix dropped an entire trilogy in the span of 3 weeks. And
3 weeks?
Yeah, they dropped one every Friday for 3 weeks straight. And I thought the stories were good. I think, which one is it? 94 is the standout, the one where they're at sleepaway camp, or is that 70 something? But yeah, I just want to mention those.
You didn't mention Fantasy Island.
Which one?
Fuck
Fantasy
you.
Island.
I don't know what that is.
Are you saying that as
Can't
a
you
joke?
see it?
Because-
No, dude, I get that 1 star because it made me laugh.
No, that was in my bottom 100. That's
Okay,
why
yeah,
I asked
but
it. Yeah,
it's
I
so
gave it a
bad.
half. It's horrible.
Oh, it's so it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Horrible.
All right, let's round out our decade conversation. Let's go top 3 horror movies of all time. I know we posted this on TikTok the other day, but let's have a little conversation. I know Seth and I both rank The Shining, I think, as the greatest horror movie of all time. Tyler, I believe you mentioned if you consider The Silence of the Lambs a horror movie, which I think we should, you consider that the greatest of all time. Cam, I forgot what you had at number 1.
Jaws.
Jaws.
I don't think it's a horror. It has horror elements, but if we're considering it, it's the best movie on that list, in my opinion. But
I have it at number 2.
Yeah, horror. That's fine. The Shining, I have at number 2. So our 2 kind of flip flop. And then I forget what was my third. Was it Get Out? I don't know.
Was it Alien? Oh no, probably would be Get Out.
I think it might be Get Out. Or
that was Alien on your list?
No. Alien's a 94 out of 100. Train to Busan 95. Get Out's on there at a 96, and I can't think of my third. I got to go look at this little video
Seth,
that I made.
How many horror movies on Letterboxd do you rate a 5 out of 5?
That's a really good question. I don't think it's like a crazy amount. I think it might be.
Mine's 9.
I think it might be around that. Let me check.
Yeah,
Silence of the Lambs. Sorry.
Okay, mine's. Oh, actually, no, George. Mine's more. Mine's 11.
Okay.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's 9. Mine's 9.
Yeah, mine's 9 as well.
Yeah.
I rate 4. Are we counting Silence of the Lambs or not? Because Letterboxd.
Okay, if we're counting Silence of the Lambs,
mine's 5.
10. Mine's 10.
Okay.
If we count Silence of the Lambs. Mine's 10.
Yeah, mine's still 9.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right. Tyler, anything you want to add to the greatest of all time conversation?
No, I think I don't need to speak for things that I have no expertise in, but I will say that Silence of the Lambs is awesome, and I will say that The Shining I will give a rewatch to and reevaluate my thoughts on it.
Please do.
So good, man.
That pains me, that rating.
I know you're Kubrick's little minion. I know.
Yeah, but The Shining is different. The Shining is like George is like
Shining is different.
The Shining's same with 2001.
Yeah,
I'll give it a rewatch, and I'll also watch Room 43 or whatever the documentary is about the making of the movie too.
Oh, that is not nice.
I will say though, as amazing as The Shining and what did we just say? 2001: A Space Odyssey are. Inception is better than both of those movies.
Yeah, that is the most film bro in your life.
I'm just saying.
Inception better in 2001.
I'm just saying.
I can't believe that. Wait, where do you rank? Have you done a sci-fi list?
No, I have like my top 130.
I'm intrigued to where you're going to put 2001. It's got to be like.
All right, I'll make a sci-fi list.